Unit 2. Unit Review. Part 1. Matching. You will hear several questions or statements. Match each question or statement with the correct answer.
Number 1. There is a misconception that Japanese food is all about raw food.
Number 2. What authentic food would you recommend for a first-time traveler?
Number 3. The little girl who sold souvenirs was very tactile.
Number 4. Our company invited a consultant to give us a talk titled Communication in a Diverse Working Environment.
Number 5. Miss Mason's area of expertise is the economics of globalization.
Part 2. Question Response. You will hear a question or statement and 3 responses spoken in English. Select the best response to the question or statement.
Number 1. People say in a company, experience is more important than qualifications.
A. People are very experienced here. B. I get why they think that, but both are equally important. C. I heard their qualifications are not recognized in this company. Number 2. I've heard that in most Asian countries, people are quiet and shy.
A. That's a common misconception. It's only in certain places. B. Yes, most Asians give their opinions directly. C. Yes, everyone says people here are ignorant. Number 3. I think I did something that offended the new student from Turkey.
A. No doubt that you are going to make some mistakes. B. In all probability, he is from Turkey. C. My guess is that you made a cross-cultural mistake. Number 4. People in that country are kind of distant, right?
A. Yes, most people there are tactile. B. It's a misunderstanding. Some people there are very unfriendly. C. It's just a stereotype. There are friendly people too. Number 5. Chances are that colleagues from different countries can offend each other sometimes.
A. Yes, we think that following a hierarchy is important. B. Right. My colleagues value silence a lot. C. True. There are bound to be some cultural misunderstandings. Part 3. Conversations and Short Talks. You will hear some conversations and short talks. You will be asked to answer 3 questions about what the speakers say. Select the best response to each question. Questions number 1 to 3 refer to the following conversation. Where did you spend your language semester? Mine was in France.
I went to Sweden. It was really different from what I imagined. What was your favorite thing about France?
Everything. Everyone says the French are romantic, but I found that was a misconception. The people I met were amusing and ironic about everything. What was Sweden like?
I thought it would be a very open society, but actually that's a stereotype. People there are quiet, except when they drink. I tried a few very authentic local foods, like aged fish and pickled vegetables, and they have great bread and cakes.
I found France has a very diverse culture. There are people in food from all over the world, so it's a very vocal and lively place. How about Sweden?
I think in Sweden, hierarchy is important. Students always wait for seniors to finish speaking first. Number 1. What did both speakers find out about the countries they visited? Number 2. What does the man say about France? Number 3. What did the woman discover about the Swedish?
Questions number 4 to 6 refer to the following conversation.
I heard a very interesting lecture on cross-cultural communication yesterday. The consultant mentioned that body language is very important.
Yes, I've heard that some gestures can be offensive in some cultures, like getting the famous V sign the wrong way round, or using your feet to point at something.
Yes, and of course, if you pay attention to body language, you will notice if you have offended someone.
I've actually had that experience. I had my arms full with a laptop and speakers, and a new colleague from Indonesia was just coming out of the meeting room. So I stuck my foot out and said, "Ooh, wait a sec, hold the door for me, thanks." He did, but he looked a bit disgusted.
Ah, it was the foot. You have to be so careful in a diverse environment. I once made a thumbs-up gesture to a colleague from Iran, and I didn't realize that was offensive until he told me about that. It was so embarrassing. Number 4. What are the speakers mainly discussing? Number 5. What experience of making an offensive gesture does the man mention? Number 6. According to the woman, which of the following is an offensive gesture to a person from Iran?
Questions number 7 to 9 refer to the following short talk. There are many stereotypes about the French culture. Firstly, it is a misconception that the French are so tactile that they always kiss when they greet each other. In fact, people only kiss in greeting if they are close friends or family members. The French also use a polite speech form to people they don't know, and it's rude to use the familiar form of speech to strangers. Secondly, contrary to what people think, if you go to a French open-air market, you can haggle a bit over price. But if you go to a second-hand or antique shop, if the price is marked, it is offensive to haggle. Thirdly, it's also a stereotype that French people don't speak English. In fact, if you travel to France, you will still be able to find someone who can speak English. Of course, the locals will definitely be happy if you try to learn some simple French expressions.
Number 7. How many stereotypes does the speaker mention? Number 8. What does the speaker say about haggling in France? Number 9. Which of the following is true about French people?
Questions number 10 to 12 refer to the following short talk.
Cultural differences are much more obvious in a business environment. In Russia and Asia, hierarchy is very important. In these cultures, staff with titles that show they are higher up in the organization are used to being shown respect. They are usually allowed to give their opinions first, and employees should agree to and carry out their manager's directions. In other cultures, however, all employees have a discussion together and then come to a consensus on how to act. Some Japanese feel that office environment should be quiet and conversation should be kept to a minimum. They feel that the professional environment is very different from the social world and should be kept separate. Another interesting thing is that Japanese people like to take turns in speaking rather than becoming excited and interrupting each other with sudden ideas. Each culture brings different expectations, and facilitating smooth communication takes quite a lot of expertise. Number 10. Which of the following cross-cultural differences is not mentioned? Number 11. What does office hierarchy mean in Russian and Asian cultures? Number 12. What do Japanese feel about office and social environments?